One of the key factors that I believe is that sport does have the ability to transform lives. It's been a driving force for me throughout my entire career. But I think it's important that we clarify at the beginning a very common myth that sport builds character. Sport by itself does not build character. I think we have a lot of examples almost daily, if you pick up the newspaper or you go online, about athletes and coaches that are behaving incorrectly or poorly. The key actually is that character is a key essential. We say that sport reveals character, but for athletes to actually develop character, it takes a coach that models and demonstrates character and intentionally teaches it. So to us, I mean, that is a key element, is making sure that the leaders, the parents, the coaches, all have a common message that not only is improving an athlete's athletic skills, but also helping that individual improve as far as certain values that we feel will help them become great athletes and great people. Coaches are such key individuals in a young person's life. And one area that I certainly feel that every coach must be aware of is that they are a role model. And everything that coach says, does, athletes are watching. And I know that coaches have high standards. They have, whether they have rules, standards, core values that they hold their players accountable for. Well, first and foremost, a coach has to be adhering to all of those. I think the number one thing that I believe a coach has to be is a person of integrity. And a coach of integrity then has the ability to build what I call a climate of trust. Great teams are built on a foundation of core values, and one of them being trust. And that trust has to be between a player and a coach. It's between player to player. And I think that the coaches have to be aware all the time that every single day that the players are watching them. Coaches, the best coaches, develop young people holistically. And they truly care about that child or that player, both on and off the field. And when you consider someone from a holistic standpoint, what I'm talking about is physically, the social dimension, the emotional dimension, the team dimension. There's so many different areas. And as coaches, I truly believe that we should be helping young people transfer those skills that they're learning on the athletic playing fields into life, whether it's into their schoolwork, into the work, into their family situation, all these things. I think that's the greatest benefit of sport. I call sport a microcosm of life. All the different things that you learn on the athletic playing fields prepares you for the joys, the excitements, but also the challenges that you're going to face in life. And a very, very important aspect in coaching and working with coaches is understanding why teams win. There's no question. There's a scoreboard for a reason. And teaching young people how to compete and how to develop that winning spirit is absolutely essential. I also think that it's important for coaches to understand that winning is a byproduct. So often that people will talk about, well, we have to win this game. Well, winning is the result of doing certain things correctly. And instead of emphasizing the word winning, I think great coaches, what they end up doing is they identify what it's going to take, and they look at the individual players that they have and develop the people or the players rather than just emphasizing the winning aspect of it. I think there's three keys to winning. And one, of course, is talent. It takes a certain level of talent, but when I think about talent, it goes way beyond just the natural ability. It's the ability of a coach to develop players so they're reaching their full potential. So then a player has to work extremely hard in order to get to that point. So yes, talent is very important for both players and coaches. The second aspect of it, the second key is leadership. Now that leadership, yes, it comes from the coaches, but it also comes from the internal players. We spend a lot of time working with our players to develop their leadership skills, because it's your internal leaders that are truly going to make a major difference in the success of the team. The third key component is performance character. And that's a key phrase that I think that more and more coaches will look into. And the performance character is really a list of the key attributes or qualities that a coach wants a player to have in his or her program. So that could be drive, determination, resilience, teamwork. There's a lot of different aspects. It could be any of the words that a coach has in his or her philosophy. But those words all fall under the umbrella of performance character. And so if you take talent, and if you take leadership and performance character, and you develop those three key areas, the byproduct is going to be winning. So I ask coaches to really look at developing those three key areas in order to help their teams be successful. I really believe that the coaches play such a key role because, yes, every player will come to a coach with certain natural talents. But now it's a twofold responsibility. One is on the coach to help develop those talents the best that he or she can, but then the responsibility also falls on the athlete. And between the two of them, they form a partnership in order to find ways to get that athlete, to get that person, that whole person, to be the best that they possibly can. So when I look at that, I think it's an exciting, challenging relationship between a coach and an athlete or a group of athletes that truly will end up having a finished product, and one that we hope will be the best that they can be both on the field, but that also includes off the field. Coaching athletes today, like all generations, has its own unique challenges. But I look at young people today, and truly, there is no reason that they cannot be everything that they want to be and that we as coaches want them to be. It is true that in today's society, many times the role models that they're watching on television are not setting what we consider the best examples. But that does not mean that or diminish what they can end up doing as athletes and people themselves. I think it goes back to the leaders. It goes back to the coaches. And as coaches, I know we have standards and the accountability that we have to have with all our players. It's not just, okay, fine, that individual is the star player, so we'll have a different standard for that individual. I think it goes back really to leadership, which goes back to the experiences that a leader has had, the coaching development, the mentors, because I think that today's young people, they have a tremendous desire to be the best that they can, but they do need to be taught life lessons as far as whether it's unselfishness, teamwork, playing hard, effort, resilience, all those lessons. Everyone needs to be held accountable for those. And I think as we do a better job of that as coaches, I think we're going to see this generation just continue to grow and grow from an athletic aspect of it in their total development and in what they're capable of doing. We're working with very talented young people today Now what I think we need to do is make sure that we're not missing out on the values, the characteristics that we know, that we consider the intangibles, to make that person hard-nosed and get them so that they will not quit. All the things that we take great pride in, they need to have that. And with the talent that they have, I'm excited with what the potential is. I think that every coach that I've ever met is always striving to be the best that they can. And one of the reasons I'm so excited about my trips to New Zealand is I'm very, very impressed with what I've seen of the work of Sport New Zealand. I've read very thoroughly their coaching strategy plan, and I'm very, very impressed. In fact, I have said this publicly, that I've read a lot of different coaching strategy plans in different countries, different places. And on paper, what is out and released by Sport New Zealand is outstanding. And what it's showing me, and what I'm seeing as I travel around the different areas, is there are a group of extremely committed, dedicated, and competent coaches in New Zealand. I'm very impressed. And I think what Sport New Zealand is really done is they have a strategic plan to unite and connect coaches. So for younger coaches or experienced coaches, we're all trying to learn. Through the regional sport trusts, there are places right here in New Zealand that I think are outstanding, and they will only get better and better with the future plans that I see. With the community plan, I think that is going to really help the coaches here in the country of New Zealand. So as far as anyone that is looking for things to further their career, I think they really can find it regionally and nationally. And I would encourage the experienced coaches to all become mentors. That's one of the most important things. It really helped me in my career. Is I had experienced coaches that had so much wisdom. They took the time, the energy to provide what I call nuggets, things, just information that just really speeded up my development, and it helped me appreciate legendary coaches that have walked the path before me, and it speeded my growth up. So I think it's a great way, a great avenue for young coaches to continue their professional growth and look locally. And as you find coaches, listen carefully. There's so much wisdom that experience brings.